Universe of Legends is a history-bending creature battler where various universes of fantasy and alternate history collide. And you, as a D-Ranger, must defend your given universe from any unwelcome celestial bodies. You do this by playing minions and legends from your universe, equipping them with items, and using powerful actions from an extra deck to defeat your opponent's defenses and break the colliding universe's barriers before you strike one final time to wipe them out of existence. Yeah, that's right, a whole universe is at stake here. This video is sponsored by Universe of Legends, so let's figure out how to play it. In Universe of Legends, there are 6 card types: units, items, anchors, actions, reactions, and barriers! Every card type besides barrier has its resource cost in the middle left side of the card. Now what do all these do? Units are the fighty ones. They attack your opponent's units and break their barriers. Units are split into minions, legends, and celestials. They all have attack power, defense power, and ability, and also a crystal that's used for deck building. Minions sometimes have a second ability at the bottom of the card called a stack ability, which is unlocked when the unit is stacked under another unit. More on that later. Legends and Celestials also have item slots, which determine how much item weight they can carry. Look at that! It's the next card type. Items give stat bonuses to the legend that they are stacked under, granted that the legend has more open item slots than the item's weight. Items might also have an ability or stack ability, or both. Anchors are important items or locations in your universe, and they have powerful abilities, but take up one of your limited field zones. Next are actions, which are the spell type cards. You play them, they do a thing, and they go to the discard pile, called the unknown in this game. Reactions are similar to actions, but you can play them even on your opponent's turn. And finally, barrier cards are your life points, but they also have abilities that trigger at various timings. And those are all the card types. Now let's set up the game. First, you'll need 5 different barrier cards. The colors of the barriers will determine what color cards you can play in your other decks. You can only include cards with crystals that match at least one of your barriers. Some cards have 2 crystals, which means you need to have 2 barriers of that color to put the card in your deck. Some cards have a gray crystal, which is neutral and there are no barrier requirements to play those. Speaking of cards in your deck, you'll need a 40 to 50 card deck called the Universe, made up of units, anchors, and items. You can have 3 copies of any given minion or item card in your deck, and 1 copy of any legend, celestial, or anchor. You'll also need a deck of up to 10 actions and reactions, all of which you can have 1 copy of. Some of these cards are super powerful, and they're called alpha actions and reactions. You can only have 1 alpha card in this re/action deck. Now we have some decks set up, let's get playing. The first thing you do in this game is not shuffling your deck. Pick any 2 cards from your universe and put them in the energy zone. These are your starting resources. Now you can give your universe and the barriers a good shuffle, and then draw 5 cards from your universe. If you look at your hand and you think, my disappointment is immeasurable and my day is ruined, then you can put back any of the cards you don't want on the bottom of the universe, as well as one of your starting energy cards, and then draw back up to 5 cards. After that, you decide who goes first. Both players roll a die and the high roll goes first. What? I can't make the same joke every time. Then both players flip up the top barrier card in their barrier stack and resolve any on-reveal abilities that those barriers might have, with the turn player getting the first chance to do so. Summoning minion. Now the game will go through the following phases until someone attacks their opponent directly when they have no barriers left. Draw phase. Draw 2 cards from your deck, unless it's the first turn of the game, in which case you draw 1. Charge phase. Ready any of your rested energy and units. Horizontal goes back to vertical, and then add a card from your hand to the energy zone ready. That's vertical. Main phase. This is where you do all of the things. Play cards, use abilities, attack with things, taunt your opponent with the knowledge that you're about to destroy their whole universe. To play a card, exert energy equal to the cost and then play the card. Units and anchors get played to one of your 6 main zones on the board. Many minions have a keyword called mobilize, which means you can play that minion under or on top of another minion with mobilize. When you do this, it will create a stack. Stacks can be up to 3 cards tall, and the stats of a stack are the total of all the cards in it. These two 1/2s make a 2/4 together and are treated as one unit. Another important keyword is familiar. Any minion with this keyword can be played stacked under a legend. Most of the time, familiars have stack abilities, which are active as long as the card with the stack ability is not the top card of the stack. Items are very similar in that they stack under legends to give them extra stats and stack abilities, but the legend must have enough item slots open to equip the item, which is the legend's item slot stat minus the weight of any items already equipped to it. Mobilize, familiars, and items are all different ways to make stacks, which are an important part of the game. Just remember that the number of the stack shall be a maximum of 3. Thou shalt not stack to 4, nor is 2 the maximum until you proceed to 3. You can also play actions and reactions from your re/action deck. Pay for the card, pull it out of the deck, do what it says, and then send it to the unknown. Your opponent can also play reactions during your turn though, so watch out! Stand behind your minions! You can activate the abilities of cards during the main phase. Just do what they say. Sometimes you gotta pay for it. You don't pay, you don't get to play that ability. Finally, you can make attacks during the main phase. Any active unit can attack, even on the turn that you played them, but you can't attack on the first turn of the game. To declare an attack, rest the attacking unit and declare a target. You can target your opponent's barriers or any rested unit they control. The defending player then has the ability to block with any active unit they control. If they do, they rest the blocking unit and switch the target of the attack to the blocker. When units fight, they both deal their attack power as damage to the opposing unit's defense power at the same time. Any unit that hits 0 defense power is destroyed and sent to the unknown. Remember, stacks are treated as one unit with attack and defense power equal to the total of all the cards in the stack. If the stack reaches 0 defense power, the whole stack goes to the unknown. Damage also stays until the end of the turn so you can whittle down a strong stack. If a unit attacks a barrier and isn't blocked, the face-up barrier is destroyed and sent to the unknown. Any abilities that the barrier might have had when it's destroyed happen, then the next barrier in the stack is revealed, triggering any on-reveal abilities. If there are no more barriers left and a unit attacks the defenseless player, that player's universe is destroyed and they'll have to try to defend their next universe a little harder. As a quick ending note, reaction cards can be played by either player on both the draw and main phase of the game in reaction to something else happening. When a player plays a reaction, the other player gains priority and they can also play a reaction. If they do, this goes back and forth until everyone is done playing reactions. Then, the reactions resolve in the opposite order that they were played. It's the classic chain, stack, ladder from the TCG Book of Knowledge. And that's pretty much the game. Universe of Legend takes inspiration from Argent Saga and other incremental resource games, but with the crazy explosive plays from Yugioh. You can join their Discord in the description below. They're gonna be at Gen Con selling demo decks. I'm 2Lanes the Card Game Crypt Keeper, and I'm outta here.